Today, I'm going to talk to you about why getting a decommissioned ambulance is one of the best purchases you can make for your machines, your outdoor lifestyle, and just overall practicality. It doesn't seem like it makes any sense, but hear me out. So I have a whole bunch of toys. Just right here, too many excavators, too many skid steers, and I have more than that. Sometimes I haul my Polaris General side-by-side on this thing. Sometimes I just need to go to Home Depot and get a whole bunch of wood. So I need something that can pull a whole bunch of stuff. Well, why don't I just go buy a big bad crew cab truck? I can just go to the dealership and go spend $80, maybe $50. Let's buy a cheap old used one, $20,000, $30,000, right? Ambulance? Well, nobody wants them. Do you want one? You probably don't want one. $5,500 for that. 240,000 miles, been maintained by a hospital its entire life. All the maintenance is up to date. It was decommissioned just a year ago. That dude is a 2002 E450. E450, so the 250 is a 3/4 ton, the 350 is a 1 ton. That bugger right there is a heavy duty. It's a big old dually. Let me show you some features. So when I first bought it, it needed tires. 6 tires. Only cost me $13.50. Mounted, balanced, installed, everything, a discount tire. Just drove in, they had them in stock, they popped these things on, no big deal, right? Well, I don't want anyone to see I'm driving an ambulance. Had to tint them windows, right? Got them tinted. Windshield had a crack in it, I put a windshield in it. And now I'm ready to drive it. Well, not quite. All these lights, had to tint these lights. I don't want to run around with red lights. It looks too ambulance-y. It still looks ambulance-y, but not as ambulance-y. And I tinted all the lights. These are lights. These are lights. Up on the box, there's 2 on each side. The light bar. We got lights everywhere on this thing. So you want to show up to a party. Maybe you're going to a bush party or something. You're hanging out by the fire pit. You want to bring the lights? Here you go. Party lights. Enough said. We all know up front, it's a van. This is a 40 Econoline van. We got a couple seats and a dash, just like a van has. It's just like any moving truck or Class C motorhome. Basic stuff. But what does this have special? Oh, I'm so glad you asked. All kinds of storage. Batteries are super easy to access. We've got shelves of storage in here. Those of you who watch my channel, you know I run around with a stump grinder on my mini skid steer or a grapple. I mean, I'm running around helping people out with their yards all the time. So, in here, we've got our grease gun. We've got a chainsaw. I've even got my baby chainsaw is in here. You know, we're ready to go. I've got all the tools I need for my tree work right there. Since I'm always hauling my toys around, in here, I carry diesel fuel. I also carry gasoline. Got 5.5 gallons spare of each. I also keep tie-down straps, extra receivers and such in here. Got to fill up my gas, actually. These locking storage cabinets, we've got all the tools. You need a jigsaw, you need drills, sawzall. I've got all kinds of hand tools up here, electrical stuff, batteries, extra gloves on the bottom. I've got jack, I've got jumper cable, I mean all kinds of stuff. And a whole bunch of the tools we keep in here, actually we're working on projects at the cabin, so they're not in here right now. This one is a tall one. The tripod my camera's currently sitting on to make this video, I keep it right in here. If I need to run out to somebody's house, I've got a rake, I've got a shovel, I've got all that stuff in there. I keep a pole saw in here. some of my attachments, and then all the ambulance electrical stuff. We've got a power inverter because it's got 110 plugs inside. One of my biggest modifications I did is I put a trailer hitch on. Now, this does come with one of those ambulance bumpers that flips up so the stretcher can go in the back. It was a lot of effort to try to modify that to work with a hitch, so I'm like, I really only drive this thing with a trailer behind it. I really don't need a bumper. This is just my haul-in rig. So I put my 7-way plug here. I put a hitch over under there. Now, this is just a basic hitch for an E350, and this one can tow 10,000 pounds. There is an option for this to put I think it's a 16 or 18,000 pound hitch on it. And I bought the stuff for it, but the way this ambulance box and the bumper are welded, I couldn't fit it on this without a lot of effort. Really, they welded those brackets to the frame with a box on it, and I'm not pulling the box to fix it. So I just put a 10,000 pound hitch on it because I got little machines. I mean, my biggest Mini X is 3,500 pounds. My smallest one's like 2,000 pounds. I got a mini skid steer. It's 1,800 pounds. Another one's 2,500 pounds. Another 3,500 pounds. I don't always have them on here at the same time. I will never have all those on at the same time. So I don't think I'll ever go over 10,000 pounds. I couldn't imagine so. Now the rig itself, I think you could pull like 20,000 pounds with a 7.3 Power Stroke. So for trailer brakes, I have this. This is a Bluetooth trailer brake controller. It's pretty cool. It's no sponsorship, no promotion. I just think it's cool. It's a Curt Echo wireless brake controller. Now, I use this on my Escalade. I use it on the ambulance. And I originally used it on some other vehicle. I can't remember what. But anytime you need a brake controller, you don't have to wire anything up. This in your phone. And you can control trailer brakes. It's awesome. Okay, you just plug your trailer into this thing as normal. Then you plug this into your vehicle. And then you get on your app and you can activate your trailer brakes. You can set the sensitivity, all kinds of stuff. So, big fan. So why in the world would I want a WeighSafe hitch? Oh, I'm so glad you asked that. Let me explain this to you. So say right here on the trailer. Now this is something amazing. See this here? See this scale? This is my WeighSafe hitch. This particular one I got, this one 1,500 pound tongue weight, 12,500 pound trailer weight, and this is the WeighSafe hitch. I've got this 2,200 pound 1 ton mini excavator, and back here I have a 3,500 pound mini excavator. So where do you place them on the trailer? So say you want to add some attachments up here and you got a whole bunch of stuff you want to load on the trailer. It's pretty simple when you just have one vehicle and you just kind of get an idea, center it over the axles, you know, get it where you think is right. You want to get the majority of the weight in front of the axles, but you kind of want to center it over the axles. Don't put too much behind or it'll wag. But what about when you're loading a bunch of machines? A bunch of little baby machines like this. I don't know where it's supposed to be. Do you? Well, let me show you something here. So with this WeighSafe hitch, you type in your tow vehicle, you type in your trailer, you enter in your hitch and all the information there. And then depending how much weight you have in your tow vehicle and how much weight you have on your trailer, it'll tell you where your tongue weight should be. And then you look at your scale and you just shift your machines around so that your tongue weight's where it needs to be. It's pretty awesome. So you can see where it says the range that you want to be in. You put in the weight of your trailer and then it says the range that your tongue weight should be in. And then you just drive your machines back and forth and you just get it just right so you can look in your tongue hitch and you can see if it falls in that range, and then you know you're towing safely. For a newbie tower like me, For a guy like me that's got all kinds of toys and machines, I'm not a newbie tower. Like, I know how to tow something, but how do you know exactly? Because it's not like it's just a perfect, you know, you put 200 pounds back here and you need 200 in the front and it just balances. No, it's not quite like that. And even like right now, you can see that whole 2,200 pound machine is in front of the axle. That doesn't mean I got 2,200 pounds on the tongue, because most of it's over the axles. So that WeighSafe hitch really helps out. So WeighSafe, they sent me that hitch because I reached out and I said, man, I really could use that, and I think my audience would really enjoy it. So they gave me a discount code. If you go to their website, if you want to buy one of those, Our Life in Trees is the discount code, my YouTube channel name. So hopefully that'll help some of you out, help out the channel some possibly. So we are really on a trip to our cabin, and we pulled this thing out here. So this is not set up and beautiful and ready to go. It's just how it is. So when I turn my key on, I've got this rear view mirror I got on Amazon, and what this thing is, it gets rid of the mirror and it just makes it a screen. So right now I have it set, you can see a rear view camera, and that's my right side camera. But you can change it all up. So you come through here and you do 3 cameras. There's rear, there's the right side, and there's the left side. So I can see down all sides of it. Or what if you just want a rear view camera? There's your rear view mirror, no obstruction. Because normally this is your view straight back, and you can't see very well from a real mirror. So this is a game changer. And I can't see exactly where I'm at, so I usually just leave it. I turn this side on rear view, and this side over here, there's my left, there's my rear, and my right. That's how I usually drive, because that is super, super handy. But if I want to back up to the trailer, how would you see that? Well, I put this little screen in, another little Amazon purchase. And once I stick the truck in reverse, then I have a camera that points straight down, and I can back straight up to a trailer. I can see what I'm going, where I'm going up here, and I can back up to a trailer right there. The way that works is right here in the back, which I can't go completely straight in the middle because that light's in the way. So what I've done is I've put this as my rear view camera for my mirror, and this one here, that looks straight down. That's my trailer hitch camera. So those 2 little cameras are a game changer for drivability of this thing. This 7.3 from the factory is a dog. So, pulling these big trailers, I could barely go up hills. So you see this thing here? This is my Hydro Chip tuner. And each of these had 14 different modes. They all do different things. So like number 2, that's my high idle mode. See, it just shot up. It's about 1100 RPM. So you can see there on my ScanGuage, 1100. Then I'm going to change that. We'll put it to a stock tune. See the RPMs drop back down? Well, I also have, this is dead pedal valet mode. You don't want someone to steal it? Check this out. Nothing. Dead pedal. Awesome. And then I've got all kinds of different tow modes and daily driver modes. And I even have extreme horsepower coal rolling mode. So I added the Hydro tuner, but I've got to watch my gauges. So I've added a boost gauge. I've added my EGT gauge so I can watch my exhaust gas temperature. And then I had an extra spot, so I added a little glow shift ambient air temp sensor, which is incorrect right now because this thing has been idling. So I've already got a tachometer, I've got my transmission fluid temperature, and then I've got all my standard gauges: water temperature, my fuel, oil pressure, and I've got my voltage. So now I've got EGTs, boost gauge, and I've got my outside air temp. So when I bought it, this is the control panel for the ambulance. It's got the siren. This is my master switch to control everything. And I've got, this is my flashing lights. I've got all my floodlights, and these are amazing. I'll show you these, what they look like at night. And then some random lights, shows if your compartment's open, if you got a door open, and then for people in the back can throw you codes. But the siren is pretty cool. It's got 2 sirens up in the grill. But I took this off. This just mounts on the doghouse, and I bought this on eBay. It's just a van cup holder deal, and I'd much rather have the cup holder because see this frozen ice? Yeah, it's like 20 degrees today, and it's not totally frozen. So we've got that. Another thing I did, we made a walkthrough. This didn't have a walkthrough. I've still got to do some trim work around here. And then we hung some hooks on the side, and we can hang our bags and coats and hats and such. And then this area, I've got a bunch of blankets thrown in here now, but this is where the dogs sleep when we're traveling. Because this has an extended cab portion. This is 20 inches deep. That's the front part of the box. All this is the extended cab portion of the ambulance. See that? Pretty cool. Step on into my crib. So in here, let's turn some lights on. Let's go for the left and the right, and let's go for the cot light. Let's turn the heater down. So look at these lights. Get all of these lights in, and what I was just flipping switches for, got a cot light off, left side off, right side off. So you want the left on or dim. You want the right side on or dim. So super bright, and you got storage everywhere. Look at this. So we throw stuff in here when we're going to come out to the cabin. We're taking this. There's storage here. We've got storage in here. There's a little trash can down in here. See this? Again, storage. I don't need this because it's warm in the old ambulance. Let's go back to the baseball hat. So, back to storage. In here, this is that same storage bin we had outside, but you can access it inside. So get all kinds of stuff in here. Also, this cot, this all lifts up, and there's storage underneath here too. So we got storage in here, storage back in here. This is my storage box for my WeighSafe hitch. Inside the storage box, I've got a 2-inch ball. I've got a 1 7/8 inch ball in case I need that. And it's got a 2 5/8 inch in there right now, but all this stuff goes in there. And I forgot to mention it locks too, so it is locked up. So yeah, it is a 25-degree day, and I'm chilling in the back of my little ambulance out here in the woods, and it's warm because I've got a heater on. So this has a thermostat, like a house thermostat, and you can turn it anywhere from 55 degrees up to 85 degrees. And then it's got a switch to turn on the heat or cool, because it does both. This is on low, medium, and high. And now, see these vents? It's just cranking heat out. 25 degrees outside. It's got to be 60 some in here right now, and it's just warming up. I could get it as hot as I want it in here because this box is thick and insulated and awesome. Over here above this cot, we do have more storage here too. It's like everywhere you look, there's just more storage. And see that little vent there? This thing, outside venting. And it's got a few of those. And these vent outside. See this? Just like an RV vent. And you can vent this to the outside so you're not sealed. So the indoor control panel has a little light here. Timer, don't care about. Don't even know what that does. This clock doesn't even work. And then this matters. So flip the inverter, and now your plugs have come on. And you've got a 1,000-watt inverter built in, which there's another plug in this compartment up in the top. So we've got 2 plugs, factory. Don't even have to buy an inverter. This is your thermostat. Oxygen, I took those out because they beeped and they're crazy and they're very ambulancy. Exhaust fan, there is a fan deep within this thing that sucks stuff out. Here's those light switches. This is your HVAC and your HVAC on and off. It's got a little buzzer that beeps up front. And these are these code buttons. See how they light up there on that control panel? When I flip them, red, yellow, green, green off, yellow off, red off. So I can alert the driver. Non-ambulance, don't care. See this fan? And that fan starts kicking back there. Suction, we don't use that, but it has a suction pump in here. So, pretty cool little stuff. And I did leave one seat in here with a seat belt. They say this is a CPR seat. There was a seat here and I took it out. And I took all the seat belts off of this because I'm not going to ever have anybody ride back here. That's a little crazy, honestly. Our plan is we're going to take this padding off and build another platform here that'll flip out, double the width of this, so it'll come out to here and have legs on it. Then we can do a mattress and we can have a little campulance. I've started with my sink. This is a sink, a couple holding tanks underneath, but I like the tool storage better, so I decided not to do that. I do have my little pump set up. If I want to have some running water, it'll just take me 5 minutes and I can. Look how solid this thing's built. Like, look how thick this door is. Everything on this thing is built like a tank. I mean, everything about it. It's the perfect platform to build a camper. It doubles as a moving truck too, with the double doors in the back. That's why there's random lumber in here, because we use this we load stuff in the back all the time. Again, these doors are so solid. So in conclusion, why do you not want an ambulance? The Campulance, the Ambo. It's a moving truck. It's a toy hauler. It's a tool truck. It's whatever you want it to be. For us, it's all of those things and this thing is amazing. I think it's awesome. So my original thought with buying this is I've got these little machines and I'm running around and I'm helping people with their yards, right? And because I'm out of projects at home and I want to grow this YouTube channel showing them what my machines could do, my mini excavator, my mini skid steer, and all my attachments. So what better to roll up in an ambulance like I'm here to rescue your yard. Life in Trees Yard Rescue. And that was my big plan for it, but it's turned into so much more for us. And Carrie and I, we just we travel in this thing, and it's awesome. That's why I think everybody should have an ambulance. And if you wonder why I have one, and you watch this whole video, now you know why I have one. So thanks for sticking around. Like and subscribe if you like this kind of stuff. We got a bunch more stuff coming on the ambulance coming up soon. So enjoy your time in the trees and have a great day. Today, I'm going to talk to you about why getting a decommissioned ambulance is one of the best purchases you can make. And you want to have a little disco party, you got disco lights right here, ready to go. This 7.3 from the factory is a dog. So, pulling these big trailers, I could barely go up hills. So you see this thing here? This is my Hydro Chip tuner. And I even have extreme horsepower coal rolling mode. This is how cold it is out today. See how these icicles? Yeah, our aerobic system sprayed out here, and we have an icicle farm. I guess that's pea water, technically.